This is a training video to demonstrate how to perform synchronized cardioversion for an SVT when chemical cardioversion using adenosine has not been successful. The training video has been developed to be used by the Oliver Fisher Neonatal Unit staff. If you work in another trust, please do follow your own local trust policy. Before running through a simulated scenario, it is important to understand how the defibrillator works. Once the pads are connected to the patient and to the defibrillator, you turn on the defibrillator by turning the button to monitor. This allows you to review the patient's cardiac rhythm, therefore allowing you to decide on further appropriate management. In this patient, there is an SVT rhythm, and we therefore need to deliver a synchronized shock for cardioversion. If the patient is estimated to be 3 kilograms, we need to deliver 1 joule per kilogram, which is 3 joules. We therefore turn the monitor to the 1 to 10 selection. In order to select the exact energy required, you turn the black button at the bottom. This can be dialed up to a maximum of 10 joules. You will see the energy selected on the screen. If this does not automatically adjust, press the button until you get the energy selection menu. You can only individually select 1 to 10 joules. Should your energy requirement be higher, you will need to round up to either 15 or 20 joules. Once you've selected your energy requirement, it is really important that you press the synchronized button to ensure that the defibrillator is in sync mode. This ensures that the shock delivered will coincide with the R wave on the ECG, which is the peak ventricular depolarization stage. It is crucial to avoid delivering a shock during the vulnerable repolarization phase, which correlates to the T wave, as this could induce ventricular fibrillation. You then press the charge button and ensure everyone is clear. Once everyone is clear, you'll press and hold the shock button until the shock is delivered. In the event that a defibrillator is required on the neonatal intensive care unit, this can be found in the maternity enhanced care unit or MECU on labour ward. The machine will always be plugged in, therefore remember to unplug it before moving it. Also remember to inform the midwife in charge that you have taken their defibrillator. The infant pads in a green packet are kept in the lower drawer. Remove them and follow the instructions on the pads to place them in the front and the back of the baby. You will notice that the pads are clearly marked to show you the position that they need to be placed on the baby. Place the pads as high as possible on the baby's chest and press firmly to ensure that there is good contact with the skin. As mentioned, the pads are clearly marked, showing that this pad should be placed on the back of the baby. Plug the pad connector into the defib machine connector. The defib machine connector will need to be pulled free from the initial storage position. Push firmly to ensure that the connection is secure. Follow the Resuscitation Council UK guidelines for pediatric cardiac arrhythmias. The patient that we will be discussing has an SVT. If the patient is awake and alert, it is important that appropriate sedation is given. Remember to appoint a team leader so that there is always appropriate situational awareness at all times. This patient is an SVT. We therefore want to deliver 1 joule per kilogram, and on an estimated weight of 3 kilograms, this equates to 3 joules. We therefore select 1 to 10 joules and dial in 3 joules required. Always ensure that the charge is synced by looking for the white markers on top of the R waves.
Ensure all oxygen has been removed. Catherine, remove the oxygen, please. Charging. Ensure everyone's clear. All clear. Delivering
clear.
shock now. Everybody's clear. Delivering shock.
Shock delivered.
Please check for a pulse. Do you have a manual pulse that correlates with the monitor?
Yes, I do have one.
Okay, so we can go to 2 joules per kilo now.
We will now deliver 2 joules per kilogram for the second shock. This can be selected by dialing the bottom button up to 6.
Again, Catherine, could you remove the oxygen, please? Charge. Is everybody clear? Everyone
clear.
stand clear. Delivering shock now.
Shock delivered.
Richard, could you check for a pulse, please?
Yes.
Does your pulse correlate with what's on the defib screen?
Yes, it does.
Before delivering the third shock, consider a dose of amiodarone. If you have not already involved your local cardiology centre, it is really important to have further conversations with a consultant cardiologist.
Okay, so we will go to our third shock now, which will be at 4 joules per kilos, which for this 3 kg baby will now be 12, but we haven't got 12, so we're going to go up to the next higher energy, which is 15. We're going to round up. Sync is still on. I'm going to hand over to you, Suzanne, for delivering the shock. Okay, can all oxygen be removed, please? Okay, charging. Okay, everyone stand clear. Is everyone clear?
I'm clear.
Delivering shock now.
Shock delivered.
Can you feel for a pulse?
Yes.
What does your pulse correlate with what's on the monitor?
Yes, it does correlate.
Okay, so we've now got sinus rhythm. Let's go back and reassess from A to E.
This is a recording of a baby with a supraventricular tachycardia. The supraventricular tachycardia was atrial flutter, which was unresponsive to adenosine. Electrical cardioversion was therefore necessary. You can see that there's a recording on both the defibrillator as well as the saturations and the heart rate picked up by the saturation probe on the cardiac monitor. The team have administered an anesthetic agent, in this case ketamine, and allowed for the baby to settle before attempting cardioversion.
So you are charged then after. So, okay, I'm going to deliver a shock, so can everyone stand away and oxygen away, please?
Oxygen
Are
away,
we-
I'm clear.
Yeah, everyone clear?
Yep.
Okay. Shock being delivered.
Shock delivered.
Following the shock of 1 joule per kilogram, the baby's heart rate starts to decrease. This is the rhythm strip from the defibrillator and shows how the baby's heart rate reverts to normal sinus rhythm following synchronized cardioversion. There is a risk that the patient may go into another arrhythmia, such as ventricular fibrillation. Should this occur, follow the Resuscitation Council UK guidelines.
There's a change in the rhythm there that looks like VF. We are now in a cardiac arrest. Please could you commence chest compressions and ventilations, and we'll deliver a shock, and this time it will be at 4 joules per kilo. Please could you remove the sync, and I'll hand over to you to deliver that shock at 4 joules per kilo, please. Okay, can we remove the oxygen, please? Okay, I'm charging. And is everyone clear? Stand clear.
I'm clear.
Delivering shock now.
Shock delivered.
And commence chest compressions and
Begin
ventilations, please.
CPR.
There is also risk that the rhythm may change to a non-shockable rhythm such as asystole. If this occurs, commence CPR and medical management, which would include adrenaline every 3 to 5 minutes. Should you need to commence CPR, continue with a ratio of 3:1, 3 chest compressions to 1 ventilation breath, which is standard for neonatal resuscitation.
Okay, so we're at 2 minutes. Can you stop CPR? Can we check for a pulse, please? No pulse. Looks like a systole on the monitor. Suzanne, could you confirm the dose of adrenaline we're going to give? 1 in 10,000.
Okay, so 0.2 mils per kilo, so 0.6.
Okay, so if we draw that up and when we're given that, can somebody confirm, and we'll continue with our 3-to-1 life support.
This video was a collaboration between the resuscitation team and the Oliver Fisher Neonatal Unit education team at Medway Hospital. Should you have any questions, please do contact the teams directly. Thank you also to Brody and his family for allowing us to share the recordings for educational purposes.